game.
We'll do the super chats after, but you see this shirt I got on right here? Okay, this is the Black Knights. They just won the city championship in Stanford where Garry played. And they beat West Hill, and now they're the city champions. Gary's a city champion. I'm a city champion. Garry, that's a big deal. So, Zander, we'll get to the supers after. Okay? We appreciated that. We'll get to the supers after. But let's bring Garry Cobb up right now here. And there you go, Garry. Look at that. Congratulations, Stanford High School, city champions in Stanford. They beat West Hill over the weekend, and they had the trophy, and they went around the stadium there, Boyle Stadium, one of the great stadiums in northern New England. Absolutely awesome. So they ended up winning the city title. I had to tell that to you.
Very good. Very good.
What'd you make your takeaway, Garry, from Sunday's game with Baltimore? Here, I want to throw something at you first here. I mean, Lamar didn't play well. The Eagles were held to their second lowest offensive output of 250 yards by Baltimore. Wasn't really an explosive, but the defense was explosive. What did you see in this game on what made them win this ball game on Sunday?
Well, they didn't start off well, really, on either side of the ball. They really weren't playing well, and the thing that saved them in a way was, those missed kicks, and the fact that, really not just the missed kick, but the fact that Baltimore couldn't finish the drive. They couldn't put the ball in the end zone. They scored one touchdown, but, they were kicking field goals. So they really weren't able to finish the drives. And that's ultimately what really wound up being a big difference in the game is that, the Eagles finished their drives. When they took it down there close, they punched it in. Whereas Baltimore didn't. And really the game wasn't as close as the score. The last score Baltimore had, the Eagles basically kind of, let them run out the clock, and they scored. So the game wasn't really as close because Baltimore couldn't finish their drives, meaning when they got down there close, they couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And really, the Eagles, when they did put together drives, they finished them. They didn't have as many. Baltimore really had gotten ahead when it came to yardage and everything, and they were doing the yardage. But I think all this says is, the Eagles are still not quite there yet, but they have a lot of qualities on the team that make them one of the best teams in the NFL. Now, are they going to be the best? Well, just in listening to your conversation you just had, that passing game is going to have to be where can we really count on the passing game to give us what they're capable of giving us? Meaning, like, you see in the game yesterday where they slow Saquon down. Okay, well then, we got a passing game, fellas. Now, Devontae didn't play, but with everybody in there, it can't just be AJ. But you saw Dallas Goedert getting involved, and you add Devontae. They got to have the passing game where they can throw for 300 yards with 3 touchdowns. They can add that. So that's where if they want to win a Super Bowl, the way the defense is playing like a Super Bowl defense. But is the offense complete to where it's not just too dependent on Saquon? The passing game, come on. You got Pro Bowl level players. They got to play like that in that passing game. That means, Jalen, AJ, Devontae, Dallas Goedert. You got to get all those guys involved. And I wouldn't say any of those other guys are on that level, but that's what the Eagles have got to do. They did not do that yesterday. Baltimore helped them with the missed kicks.
Oh yeah,
they couldn't finish the drives. But you see qualities though, man. Defensively, the way their young players are playing defensively, Cooper DeJean, the way this kid has come along with, you see him communicating, you see the other guys communicating, you see the linebackers, the way, you got those, the linebackers in the middle. I mean, the Eagles, they never really emphasized the linebacker position, but
Garry,
those linebackers are playing great football.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You played for Buddy Ryan, and Is there any similarities on what Vic is doing with the players and getting the maximum out of these players? I mean, Dean looks like a completely different player. Josh Sweat is playing at a higher volume again, like he did in 22, when Vic was actually the consultant in the building. Now you're seeing, I mean, even Isaiah Rodgers stepped in for Slay yesterday, and I thought he had a great game. And look at them finding a guy like Zach Bond and putting him in the lineup. And the unit is playing with communication, and the unit is playing fast. And I am with you. After that game, that my takeaway was, okay, this thing's real. This is who they are. They're a good unit. Do you think he's made that kind of impact? Do you see some similarities on how he squeezes the best talent out of every single position? You know, they may not be superstar players, but he turns C players into B students, it looks like. Do you see that similarity?
I think you definitely could say that because you are getting guys that at least we never saw them play like the level they're playing at now. And they're playing at, on the pro level, and to see the way the poise, the fact that regardless of what the other team brings out there, they're able to counter. And I think the strength of the team is really, you probably would say, the secondary. I mean, they do an extraordinary job, but the linebackers, with the way these guys are making plays and they're not backing down anybody. But I loved it when the Gene kid, though, took your boy down like that, man. Henry, hey, got up under him, boom.
Oh, no, he teacupped him.
Hey, I mean, you got to, a lot of the guys back there, you got the defensive backs don't want to tackle anybody. This kid can tackle. He can cover. It's amazing, the talent that they have and all of them. I mean, just outstanding with the youth they got and the way they're coming in, and all of them are contributing. And I don't think they've hit their top yet. See, the defenses, these guys seem to be getting better every time. You can hear it when I go over there to hear them talk. The way they're talking, these guys understand the game, and that's the big thing you got to give him credit for, is that he's teaching these guys the NFL game. It's not exactly the same as college. There's a different game, but the passing game, well, how they're able to put quarterbacks in positions where they take away his first threat, maybe his first read, his second read, they make him hold on to the ball. And really, the pass rush still's got a way to go. It really hurt them with Graham not in there anymore. You got one of your best pass rushers not in there, but I got to give it to the job that the defensive coaches have done, because these guys are getting smarter and they're improving every week. And I don't think that this team has hit their top, because I think, as I said, the passing game is capable of playing better than they have played. And they're capable of playing better. They got Pro Bowl level players. They can play better. And I think that at some point they're going to need to, because when you're playing against the best teams in the league, you're going to get times where you're going like, look, we need 30 points. We got to score 30-some points in this game, because, the defense is just not just shutting down the other team.
Garry, how about this one? I made a comparison on Cooper DeJean. And by the way, I'm not asking you who's better, but I'm going to ask you this question between the two rookies.
Yeah.
DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
Who do you think has made a bigger impact on the defense this year? And I compared Cooper DeJean to like a John Lynch, like a tone setter. How important that safety position is. And slot corner is a lot like safety. It's not a lot like corner. You're playing more like a safety position. So, Garry, that's
a difficult question, boy. I tell you,
his energy, his hitting, it's a tone-setting thing. And I know Q, dude, lockdown corners, I get it. But his impact has been enormous on that defense.
That is a tough question. I tell you, you hear me talking about DeJean.
Yeah.
Quinyon Mitchell, hey, basically going like, wait a minute. What happened to our receiver over there with Quinyon Mitchell? Meaning you don't even know the guy's playing. He puts the quarterback's not even throwing over there very much at all. So you got him, and you know how important corners are in this. What is a passing league in a lot of ways. But I'll tell you, DeJean, it seems like every week I'm going like, man,
Me
where's
too.
this kid from?
I know, man.
Hey, the kid, you saw the job he did. Who was that? They're playing against Cincinnati. They're number one.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Look at the job he did against Jamar Chase. What did he do on that fourth down? Jamar Chase come in there making tackle on him, playing him one-on-one. They got him on Jamar Chase one-on-one. You know. Now, what does that say about him? And at the same time, you see him take on Big Henry and drop him, meaning he's willing to tackle. So you got a kid with skills that, varied. I that's a tough call, man, for me to say which one of these kids is better. The thing that you see, what you got to give Howie credit is he got the two best defensive backs in the draft. He got both of them.
Yeah. Garry, if you were going to redraft him, DeJean is probably somewhere there near Kyle Hamilton when he was drafted at 14 or 15.
That's right.
And if you looked at Q, instead of being 22, you have to put him there somewhere near where Patrick Surtain was drafted at 9 or 10.
That's right.
I mean, look at what you did here, man.
You underdrafted. First year, these kids come in and they're playing like they've been in the league 10 years. You're going like, go over to the kids' locker. You're talking to them going like, this kid understands the game. And, they're taking in the game. And the thing is, they listen. Both of them are quiet. You normally, with that kind of talent, a guy be yapping. You can't get him to shut up. But both of these kids are quiet. But they have got, I don't know, like I said, I see the way Cooper DeJean every week he's doing something. You're going like, and he can do that as well.
Garry, it's like they have really an advanced football IQ, these two
That's
guys.
right. Both of them do. And you could see him running the secondary. You can see DeJean running the secondary. When a guy does it motion, he's the one talking. He's the one that's giving the guys the motion to let them know. And then with all of his physical abilities, in the fact that you could put him on all these different receivers one-on-one, and at the same time, this kid will come up and tackle like a strong safety would do, so that'd be tough for me to make the call on which way I would go, man. Because Mitchell has been playing the whole year like, he's like he's been in the league.
No, he looks like a top 5 lockdown corner out there. Let me throw this at you here with Saquon.
Yeah.
In all your years playing with the Eagles and in the league and covering the Eagles, who do you think has made a bigger impact on a team, Terrell Owens or Barkley?
You got some good ones, man. Because, the thing about T.O., man, he came in and played some of the last game of the preseason, and on the first play of the game, you know what they did?
What?
They went up top for about 70 yards, touchdown. The time he came in, they would, this was Donovan McNabb hit him on like a 72-yard touchdown on the first play.
Oh my God.
So you see the impact he made, and when they started the season, they really went through the season like they were wiping guys out, man.
All the way to the Super Bowl.
On the way to the Super Bowl. So, to say about Owens, and then unfortunately he got hurt, before the Super Bowl. But
Week 14. Week 14.
He played in the game and everything, and he caught over 100 yards worth of passes.
140.
But he wasn't even healthy. So that shows you.
Hey, Garry, he had 14 catches, I think, in that game for 140 yards.
And that's why you're here asking these. You're getting some good questions, man. Yeah. So you got T.O. here. Then you got Barkley trying to break the single season rushing record.
2105. You played against them, Eric Dickerson.
And then you got these guys going against each other, man. I tell you, but I probably would give Barkley the nod because I think he's a better teammate. T.O. was about T.O.
Yep.
Now he made the team better because he put pressure on everybody and really pressure on the opposing defense and everything. But I like Barkley because he's a better teammate, and you see the guys love Barkley, man. You know, the line, they want to get in there.
Yep.
They want him to break this record. The line does, you know, because those guys, he gives those guys credit, and he's not pushy on anybody. He's not trying to take the ball out of the hands of anybody, and that's why all the guys on the team love the guy, because he's a team player. And I couldn't say that about T.O. Now I know I'm probably gonna run into T.O. What?
Yeah,
team player. Because you're not, T.O.
I know, man. He gets
great player though.
Yeah, phenomenal player. But Gary,
great player. And the thing about T.O. is the way he worked, he made everybody else work harder. Yep. You've never seen a guy go in and he's over there in the gym working and lifting and everything, man. He was a hard worker, but I'll give the nod to Barkley because of the team team oriented guy like he is.
Can I be Angelo Cataldi for 1 second? Okay. I'm going to be Angelo for 1 second here. Do you think?
You know, you got to take a shot at Angelo. He said they were going to be what? 5 and what?
5 wins. 5 wins. Oh no, he's eating a ton of crow here. But and I said 9 wins, by the way. Looks like they can win 15. But I'll ask you this. Do you think that Nick Sirianni went out of his way yesterday to pump up Jalen Hurts for MVP because some of the shine has been taken off the quarterback and has been put on the running back? Because nobody in their right mind would say the quarterback with the 27th best passing game right now in the NFL with 818 yards passing is an MVP candidate. Nobody would do that. And Nick went out of his way to make sure that Jalen got his flowers. Do you see any of that and why Nick would go overboard? Because to me and you, I would say this, Gary, shit, at 10, 11 wins, I don't need to throw any flowers at the kid. 10, 11 wins speak for itself. Yeah. Why does the coach going over and above to try to give us a bill of goods that we all know is not true?
Well, you know, when he said it yesterday, just like it went off on you, it went off on me. Like, what? Man, come on, man. Come on. What are you doing? But what he's doing is just stroking the guy. I mean, he's patting him on the head, you know, whatever. That's nonsense. I mean, he's not in the running for that. They know that in the ways they have taken the ball out of his hand something more, because you got a great running back there, and they really changed. And I was saying this early in the year: run the ball, the ball. I mean, the thing about running the ball is it's sure. It's surer than passing the ball. I mean, even if you got a great passing offense, you run the ball on people, you better believe it's going to get better as the game goes on. If you're running the ball on somebody, because they're going to get fatigued, you're wearing them down, you're running the ball on them. So I approve of that, and I think I still tell you that the passing offense is ultimately going to play a part.
Oh yeah,
whether it's something that, you know, they fall behind somebody and
how far they go, Gary. That passing game's going to count. It's going to tell you how far they go if they can passes. Yeah,
you're right, but that's a good one though, because I heard Nick though, and right away I know. Oh, come on, Nick. Nick, cut it out, Nick. Cut it out, man. Cut it out.
I know. I heard him and I was like, this guy's
trying are you
kidding land me? In the Everglades, like, you know, hey, it's really good, sturdy land. You're like, come on, Nick, where we going here, man?
But I understand he wants to keep everybody in the right frame of mind, because at a point though, he is going to go, hey, Jalen, hey, you guys, hey, AJ, Devontae, you know, Dallas, come on, hey. We got to win this. You guys got to carry us this game, because we got to put some scores on the board, and we got to do it throwing. And they got the capable and the people with the ability to do it. They just got to do it. But
Gary, last two here.
Yeah.
In all of your years, can you remember a player coming off special teams and being a nobody and then playing like Roquan Smith. This Zach Bond.
I know.
I mean, Gary, I've never seen anything like. I mean, I watched Roquan. Roquan was great. He had 12 tackles for the Ravens. He was all over the place. You know, he's kind of and nursing a hamstring on what the guy in Baltimore telling me. But
and making what, $18, $20 million
$21 million a year.
And my man is making $1.
Hey, and by the way, looking like he is the $21 million guy. I mean,
that's right.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
I know. Well, and I've not to this level. I mean, Bourne is, the level of athlete he is. You figure that why wouldn't you guys put this guy on the field more? I mean, I'm sorry, I got to see, because the kid can run. I mean, this kid can really run. I mean, he's, like a linebacker that's running at 4.5, 4.4 speed. I mean,
hey, Gary, and no false steps. I mean,
right.
This guy knows where he's going.
Got a great feel for the game. Great feel for the game. I tell you, they really, hit it right with some of the talent they have back there. But this thing with Bourne, it just makes where was he at? What
New Orleans.
I mean, they had some good people down there, so they had some good talent. But how do you not put this kid on the field?
Mickey Loomis is a hell of a general manager, but think about it. They didn't know what they had with Gardner Johnson, and they didn't know really what they had with Zach Bond. Last 2 years ago, what's his name? Gardner Johnson led the NFL in interceptions, and now you got a guy who's one of the top LBs in all of pro football. I mean, I don't know if you got to give it to – dude, how he's signing Barkley and this guy kind of covered for that Bryce Huff mistake.
That's right. I mean, hey, great offseason, Howie, man. When I see him, Howie, man, dude. How did you know? I mean, what did you see? I mean, but really, I'll tell you, Howie didn't know how good he was even while he was here, because he thought he's going to be a great special teamer for us,
or a perimeter rusher.
Yeah, and Vic said, "Hey, no, I think we got more than that here," and he stuck him in there, and it's been glowing reports ever since. Amazing,
absolutely amazing.
But the sky is the limit for this team. But
are they better than Detroit?
Game, though. What's that?
Are they better than Detroit?
I think they got a higher ceiling. I do think they got a higher ceiling than Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, I do, because like what I was saying is, you got, the defense. I mean, I didn't think the defense, offensively, they still got room. They can play better. See, they can play better, because that passing game, they can play better. So that they got to get to that mark, though. That's what they got to be chasing. When they get to the playoffs, they got to have everything, and they got to have that passing game where they can go to it when they need to, and you got that gun aimed at them, at the defense the whole time, because you got Saquon there, and you add that passing game, and I tell you, they're going to be a tough team to beat with that defense playing the way they are. I think they're right there. I mean, I think Detroit looks at them and they go,
yeah. And Gary, everyone else, now that San Francisco looks like they're out of this whole thing, I mean, Green Bay and Minnesota are really the only other threats. If I'm Detroit and Philly, I go like this. Yeah, well, Sam Darnold is not shaking my boots here. And I don't really see Minnesota, even though they have a really good defensive coordinator in Brian Flores, and they can run the ball. But Sam Darnold's not frightening me.
That's right. Correct. Correct.
He's just not. Maybe. And by the way, Green Bay and Detroit play on Thursday night.
Yeah,
so that's going to be an enormous game. And get this, Gary, Detroit still has Buffalo still out there that they got to play. So do you? Hey, last question for you. Last question for you. Do you think this team goes 15-2? Well, the only game left really is Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh's the only team that's left.
It's the Steelers. Well, I think it'll either be that or was it 14-3?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. That Steeler game, they play, anywhere near their capabilities. In other games, they beat all those other teams. So the Steelers, the one game that they played where they got a tough game where they're going to have to play well, but they're capable of beating the Steelers. I think the Eagles really at the level they can get to, I think they got a higher level than everybody. They could, but you know, but it's Jalen and that passing game.
I agreed.
You know,
I completely agree. Absolutely. Garry, I appreciate you spending time with us, man. Make sure you catch him on Fox 29 covering the Philadelphia Eagles. Garry, thank you, my friend.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Got it. Garry Cobb, man. Absolutely. I'm with him 100%. I am. I'm with him. Passing game. But hey, you know, got to make little Jalen feel a little better. You know, that's why Nicky Sirianni had to go, hey, my quarterback is an MVP too. Oh, hey, don't forget about my boy over here. But with his little feelings, holy shit. Nick is like, hey, I don't want my quarterback's feelings hurt. Don't forget him. Holy shit. Man, I thought it was like kindergarten class. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for making me feel wanted. Holy shit. What was Nick doing? Hey, everybody, don't forget my quarterback. Oh, he's my quarterback. Oh my God, we got to get to these super chats. I never knew Zander's boy, Jalen Hurts, was that sensitive that, you know, he had to have some kudos thrown his way because all the star and all the